Good morning. Okay, I am going to show you guys how to make a logo in Canva. Um, this is a recommended video, I guess. Honestly, I would say creating a logo realistically, if you have a business and you want a very high end logo that's vectorized and can be scaled or versatile in any way or needs to be used on a grand scale, I would one either suggest learning how to do it in Illustrator or two hiring somebody to do it. But I know that there are a lot of people out there who just want to start their business. And honestly, if you're stuck on the logo, this can be a very easy way just to create a clean logo that you can send to a graphic designer to get designed better, or you can take it into Illustrator and design it a little bit better if you need it to be vectorized. If you're not sure what vectorized means, basically it's scalable graphics. So when you see like an SVG, that's a scalable vector graphic. And what that means is it never loses resolution, whereas like a JPEG or a PNG or PDF. I'm not really sure how a PDF actually works, but PNGs, JPEGs, those are going to be, you might hear like 300 DPI. That means digital pixels per square inch, which just means that if there are 300 in one little inch, when you scale that, it's going to show up eventually. So, 300 is a really good size. You can make a super big logo with that and you should be fine. So, we're going to create a logo assuming that you have Canva Pro. If you are a business, I highly suggest Canva Pro because there's going to be a lot of tools that you're able to use and graphics that you're able to use, and you're not going to be able to use those if you don't have it. So, we're going to come over to Canva and I'm going to hang out with you guys for a second. So, did any of that make sense? If you guys want me to break that down, I know we jumped from like super beginner Canva videos all the way up to what? Like we're really designing in this? Yes, because this is something that I think a lot of people are going to want to use Canva for. So I thought it would be a really good thing to teach you guys. So when we open up Canva, this is what comes up when I just type in canva.com. I'm going to go to templates. You might be on the Your Designs tab right here. Ooh, I like that. I don't know how I did that, but big arrow came up. Templates, okay? We're not going to play with Canva AI today. We might do some more of that soon, but I'm just going to show you guys how to create a logo. This could be something you can help other people out with too. I definitely wouldn't sell logos that are done in Canva unless you can actually vectorize them. So if you want me to show you how to vectorize from Canva, I can do that as well. But today we're just going to create a fun little logo. So I'm going to type in logo under templates and you're going to find that all of these logo templates start to come up. And a lot of these are really great already. So, but this is going to throw, like I've seen this somewhere. So this is going to throw you into a world of, oh, you have a logo that everybody has. This is a common problem I see on Canva is I've seen stuff from the top like two or three things so often and then it instantly just tells you that person one is using Canva, which is fine, but two, they didn't even take the time to maybe like brand it to their branding, or three, they just didn't do anything. Like they just picked whatever was thrown at them instead of kind of trying to find one that works really good. But we're not going to do that. We're going to look at these cuz these are great. This is awesome. One thing I do like for grabbing from here is if you like a layout, not necessarily the fonts or the actual graphic, but finding the layout is really great. Um so if you love one of these and you're like I love that, I want it, okay, but you might have the same logo as everyone else. But if you like the layout of some of these, like this one's really cool, different. You might want to not have to make all of this part like from scratch, so you can just start there. I love these like curved circles. I feel like this one has a lot to work with. So, and actually, I've played with this logo before. It's actually a little iffy. It has some stuff in it. So, let's go with the Circle Design Studios. I'm going to click that. You can definitely start from scratch if you want, but I like starting from these. Then if you click it, you're going to see more like that. So the thing about Canva is there is so much in there. And if you don't like open something, sometimes you might not be able to find it. So I actually love this one, Lorana Bakery, and I love that little graphic. And we're going to use a tool that I showed you guys how to use. Yes, we're going to do that because I want to make a logo, even though I already have my logo started up. Do you guys want me to show you how to do a logo in ChatGPT next? Um, I highly suggest not doing it in ChatGPT because it's not going to be like a crisp layered element that you can work with and pull and turn into a vector. But this, with Canva, we can actually separate our pieces and get them into pieces so we can actually vector it. Can I nerd out anymore? So let's go with this. Customize this template. So you can play around with as many as you want to do. I actually didn't look to see if that was like a free one or not free one, but you'll see that we'll run into some issues when we start to design if we don't have the free one. So basically this is going to be a text graphic that is already curved to fit this circle. You can do this from scratch. You don't have to, but if you have a text that is already working in your branding guide, or you just like, you want to build your branding guide off of your logo, and you like a text, we're just going to pick a text that you like. So let's say you like Libra Baskerville, and then just for my own sake, but like just for teaching purposes, it not to be like 1,000 years long, I'll just pick that one. But you definitely can go with whatever you want. So we only have one text on this logo. That's pretty cool. But I'm making a dollhouse company and it's called, I don't know if it'll fit in here, but this will be a good way for me to show you when stuff like this happens. What is my dollhouse company called? Mad World After All. Look at that. It doesn't fit. So this might be something where I can just turn my text level down, but you see what happens? It goes like this. So the way I would change that is I would go to effects and I would change this curve so that it goes back to where it goes. Was that a little too fast? See how this circle is exactly that circle? And now I can actually put it's in front because whoa, what happened? So I'm going to double click this. It's a Mad World After All. So it's still a little too big. So instead of changing the size like this, I am going to change my font size, but we're going to angle this out more. I think I want it a little bit bigger. And then we're going to effects. We're going to angle it out so that it just completes that circle. Circle text can be difficult. That's all I'm saying. So now what I wanted to show you is we have this as a video, is how to change. Did I upload that video? I need to upload that video. We're going to use magic style in this. I think I made a video on it. If I didn't, I need to upload it. So we're going to go to elements. And what I want to do is I want to find a dollhouse. Or I don't think I'm going to find a dollhouse that I like in my graphics. Let me find a house. I already have the logo made for this, so we're just gonna go with this. But let's say I love this, which I do. It kind of looks like a dollhouse. Now, this would be a nightmare to turn into a logo where I needed to like vectorize it because it's watercolor. More power to you if you want to have a watercolor graphic logo, but it does make it a little bit more difficult when you're like trying to put it on your website or a business card. And I'm just going to be honest, they do look a little juvenile, but that's okay depending on your brand, depending on the company, depending on whatever you're doing. But what I want to do is I want to make this house look like this, but not that. I don't want a mixing bowl. That's adorable, but I hate baking. So I am going to copy this style by using the Magic Copy Style. This is a brand new tool that just came out. And then I'm going to paste it onto this little house and see what happens. See if it will actually turn it into that guy. Like not that guy, but like that guy where it's lines. This would be super easy to turn into a vector, but it's also really easy just to export in a really large graphic with a transparent background, which was what we will do so that you can see how you would do this. And I'll also show you how to get to more logo templates. Okay, so I don't love it. I would probably play around with this a lot until I found that I liked it, but I can delete this now and then say I have this as my logo, and that's my logo. But if you wanted to play around with more, and this is where you can get really lost because you're like, now I have 80 versions of my logo. We're just going to add a page. We're going to come up here to design, and you're going to actually see that you can type in logo here, and then all of those logos that we saw in the beginning are going to pop back up. So if you're like, oh, I really loved some old ones, but I didn't open that up, you can definitely go in here and play around. So let's do one that doesn't have a curved text so you guys can see what I mean. Oh, this actually I think would be cool. Let's see how they're constructed. Sometimes they're definitely constructed interestingly. So what this is this is, if you wanted to build something like this from scratch, it is a letter with an effect on it that has a shadow. We have a whole shadows video that is the outline shadow. So it's the outline and then it's thickness, but then it's set to, the thing I like about finding out how did Canva do this is things are highlighted. So see this D right here? It's telling me what Canva did to it because this is highlighted. So it's telling me that Canva made it all uppercase, that it has an effect. So I can open up the effect on it and I can look at the effect. Where did it go? Where did the effect go? Hold on. Maybe that one doesn't have the effect. The S has the effect. So I can click the S. I see that the effects is highlighted, so I know it has one on it. I can click that. I know that it's not curved in any way because it's set to none. And then anything that's purple highlighted means that's what they did to it. So I could either redo that on more designs, or that's a good way to learn, or I could just change this because it's a font. So let's say I want to do world, mad world after all. So do you see why this white outline matters? It's this effect right here, and I can see that the color of it is white because that's highlighted. Um, it what it does is it magically tells me there's going to be this gap behind. Like if I move the W to the front, now it let's move the W to the front. I hate text. I honestly hate working with text in Canva. It's my least favorite thing to work with. Okay, so if I moved the W to the front, because it doesn't have an outline, it would look weird. So I could add an outline if I wanted the W to be on the front and have that outline. You want me to show you how to do that? Effects. So let's mimic it. Let's go to the W. Let's give it an effect. Let's give it an outline. Let's make the outline white. And then look at that. Now the W's on the front. So let's say I love this and I'm like, Mad World after all, and then I change this to Mad World after all, but I want like a roof on it. So I'm going to go over to elements and I'm going to do, I like this house right here. Let's say I want, actually, well, I kind of want a chimney, but this is not going to be my logo, guys. So let's say I want this and I want this to go to the back, because I know that my M and my W have a shading on them. So it'll, yeah. So then we do that. But let's say like, oh, I love how this is outside of it. Or maybe I don't. I'm going to scale this down so it fits inside of the house. And we can fit it there. I'm not hating this logo. I think it's actually really cool. Let's say I like this, but I'm not sure. Do I want to keep working with it? No. We're going to duplicate it. So then I can work on a copy of it, okay? So then I'm like, maybe I like the Mad World. I don't want to go in and out and then have to undo things. So I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to try one out here. Like, okay, I like it on the bottom. Maybe I want these a little bit lower. And then we have Mad World, which that honestly looks like VVV. Like, it's cool, but is it? So we could change the colors of these letters if we want. Let's say I want them to be more of my branding kit. You know what? The more I play with this, I'm like, it's actually a really cool logo. But maybe I'll do it for my other company I'm working on, because I've been trying to make more of like this style logo for that company. Okay, so we'll also change Glacier Indifference is one of my fonts that I use in my branding, but let's say Quicksand is. I'm just going to change this to Quicksand. I do love that you can change all your fonts. So if I wanted to change them all on my thing, my boards. Sorry, I have to remember. I have to say the words because I'm teaching you guys. Let's change this to glacier indifference. Let's see if it would change. What is happening? You're a text, right? Yeah, okay. Glacier indifference. There we go. That's actually so cute too. I mean, this fits more of the aesthetic of the company that I'm starting for my dollhouses, but this one is a really cool logo for maybe like a realtor. But so when we want to export this, now here's the problem with doing it in Canva. Let's change the background color so that you can see, like, if I were to put this on a not a black, a green background, you're going to see all that white in the background. It's not a full logo where, like, if we export this as a PNG with a transparent background, this will look great on a white background. But if you are building your website and you know this is going to also go on a black background, we would also want to make a version of this that changes so that that outline disappears again. So I'm going to make a version of this in black and white. So I'm going to change the effect to black. I know it's going to look weird, okay, but hold on for a second. We're going to change the effect to black. We're going to change the house. Can I change this? Yes. We're going to change the house to white. It's going to look like it disappears. We're going to change the actual font color to white, the actual font color to white, and the actual font color to white. This is going to be the other version of our logo that we will actually export as well. That way, let's change the background so you can see what I'm talking about. It's going to look like that on a black background. Okay. So the whole thing is we want our logo to be versatile. So now we're going to change this background completely gone. I know it's hard to see it, but we need that background to be gone because we're going to export these now as a PNG transparent background. This is where you're going to run into an issue if you don't have Canva Pro. So we're going to download as large as we can transparent background, and I'm just going to do page 3 because I just want my, or no, page 2. I just want my black logo. Also, what I would do before I do this, we're going to download it. I would make this a black logo, and then this is white logo. But here's the thing. Again, text. I hate it. Here's the thing. This white logo is only going to work on a black background. Only. I you can do this with as many variations as you want, and you would just change the effect color to whatever background is going to be on your print material or your website. It'll work fine on a website probably, but printing might be off a bit. So I would try to use your black logo as much as possible. Because, and this is where it runs into an issue because and it's not going to always be like this. If you were to do that with this, let's do it with this. Actually, I'm going to change all of this to white just so you're not like discouraged by like, oh, I can't do a logo. No, but yes, but sometimes your like wonky Canva hacks are going to turn into an issue. So this one should work just great. I'm going to turn this all white. Okay. Wait, why can't I turn you white? This is like an outline happening thing. Edit. Oh my gosh. Okay, again, this is annoying. I can't change the color of this because it's a graphic. Okay, it's a graphic, but I can show you a hack to do that. I don't want to style match. I want to change the color. The only way to change a color on something that's not color changeable is to like edit the graphic. We're not going to do that. That's just too much. Okay. So let's just, we would want to vectorize this. Okay. So we could pull it back in and turn it white if we really wanted to. Let's see if we can turn this guy white. We can't turn him white. So this is where the variations in logos is hard. It's not the highest quality of logo design you can do, but it's definitely a great place to start and it's a good thing. Now, if you're like, well, I can just export it in SVG, right? Yes, but Uh, it's not always going to be perfect. This actually probably would work great for a logo. Let me see. Let's just export this as page one in an SVG. So if it's all one color, it should be fine. And actually, if you're just using it as a logo, you can export an SVG. I didn't even think about that. Um, my brain goes to cricketing, and SVG for Cricut is completely different because you need the layers and you need to be able to cut those layers. But if you do want to like work with your logo in layers on a Cricut design space or your laser or anything like that, SVGs on Canva don't work that well for that. But they probably work great for, um, oh, yes, export it as an SVG because let me show you. Let's re-upload it now. Okay, so the cool thing about Canva is when you upload a SVG, so here's our logo SVG. It's not gonna look like it's transparent, but like this one has that transparent background. If I've lost you guys, just be like, no, just stop, just retire. You're not doing a good job. We hate you. Yeah, just say it. I don't care. So now I re-uploaded my SVG. This, okay? Let me show you really quick. Let me see if I can just give you a prime example. See that color palette? See that color palette? It has two colors. Where's the white coming from? Let's change the white to see where this is coming from. The whole background is white. Yikes. But if you want a variation of your logo in white, you can do this as well. But I don't know if you can do transparent background. Okay. Let's change the background to white. Let's change the front to white. And I'm going to down. See, SVG's not good in Canva. All right. You guys just learned that with me. You're welcome. Anyways, you can get started with a very basic logo. We can vectorize this outside of Canva, and we actually with Affinity, which is a part of Canva. So I could show you how to do that. Should I show you how to do that? Or should we make it a part two? Did I lose you guys? Was that way too much? That was a lot, but I really need you guys to know how to use Canva for fun things like this because this is where it really shines, but then it also doesn't sometimes. So, but show me your logos. I'd love to see them. Comment your websites below, I guess. I don't know. But if you're a business member of mine, we definitely work on branding guides and all the things. And I actually made this video for them today, but I thought that this was such a good resource probably for you.